ixnay on any harm. Cause snakes play and fakes lay like hidden bombs. We march in unison. The soul is truer than eternal missions with just a lifetime to do it in.
Stronghold set it, whip sash it with batons. The rebel arms swarm and form like Voltron. Slash your road beast, you heard Mark of the East. Running through Copland screaming, fuck the police. Hormones in the water, they acting out of order. Like
lest I be accused of not showing the dual edge of technology. In other words, the empowerment on one end and the enslavement on the other. We've been talking a lot about the enslavement using RFID chips, but this one is actually a feel-good story. RFID gives voice to nonverbal children. When nonverbal students at New York Public District 75 in Queens first got their hands on the Logan Proxtalker, developed by Connecticut startup company Proxtalker.com, they began communicating. According to Karen Gorman, the district's assistive technology evaluation coordinator, it all started with a simple good morning. But when the children, who are not able to speak due to multiple disabilities such as autism, began working with the device given to them by their teacher, they were soon putting together entire sentences. The Logan Proxtalker, apparently the size of a laptop computer, and they show a little boy, if you scroll down, I think. Basically, this little boy, he has one next to him. Yeah, there it is right there. It's about the size of a laptop. Was designed by Glenn Dobbs, the president of the company, and Kevin Miller, the VP. The device employs RFID technology to help child instruct the machine what to say, and comes up with an RFID interrogator and tags known as sound tags, each with a word or phrase and usually a corresponding image printed on the front. When a child moves a tag over the machine, it announces the word that the tag represents. So, back in the day, they used to have those cards that every one of them had a barcode, and you got the thing, and it gave you, it was like one of those interactive gaming kind of things. And this is kind of using that technology, but instead of to play a game, it's so that autistic kids and other kids with, different disabilities can speak to people. I think this is actually a very cool invention, and it's non-intrusive because it's not inside their body. But can you imagine them saying, well, now if you give your autistic kid this chip, he'll be able to communicate via this device because internally it will know what he's trying to say, and it will basically interpret that and put it out in, plain speak. Common folk talk, if you will. So this is a neat idea. I just hope it doesn't get out of control, and actually a very cool invention. Let's see. Panel votes to investigate extremism report. Democrats on a key House panel joined Republicans in a unanimous vote calling a formal inquiry into the Homeland Security Department to determine how contentious report that described military veterans as possible recruits for radical extremists was developed and distributed in a rare bipartisan manner. See, it's a lose-lose if they try to back these reports up and say they're good for the country. So they're all going to grandstand, but they're going to, it's going to be bad news, Brown. I just have to report on it because they're saying, we're going to investigate those DHS reports. We're going to do it. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We love you. We're the government. All right, let's go to Ryan in Kentucky. Ryan, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason. I just want to talk about the whole Boy Scout deal.
Sure thing.
Those groups are Explorer Scouts, which are older scouts, and they allow male and females in it, and normally they work with, police departments, fire stations, and it's not your normal, merit badge.
Yeah, they're usually the ones riding alongs with the cops or the firefighters, and they're kind of, on scene and that whole deal, right?
Right. I'm an Eagle Scout. I never got involved in Explorer Scout, but I want to bring, a Red Dawn scenario to this. Mm-hmm. In Red Dawn, when the colonel was, asking the mayor about his son, and the colonel was like, yeah, he's a part of a elite paramilitary force known as the Eagle Scouts. So that kind of takes that to it.
What do you think, a little predictive programming there?
Maybe, yeah, or maybe the feds have been watching Red Dawn and decided to Shanghai him before we could get to him.
This is just so crazy to me because, again, you're right. This is the older scouts. I think this is the 14 and up scouts are in the Explorers program, right?
Right. They go up to, I think, up to 21 because normal Boy Scouts end at 18 and they can go up to age 21.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, Alex is right. When they train your 14, 15, and 16-year-olds, they don't expect them to be fighting terror right away. What they're doing is they're grooming them for the next level when they're 18 and their toy gun is a real gun. And DHS is hiring across the country. When
that's
DHS
all they train to do. Mm-hmm. Throughout high school, all the way up. And so when they get out of high school, they don't want to go to college. They're going to want to go into law enforcement or go into, Homeland Security. And since they already have that intro, their name's already on that DHS list of supporters, they got an intro job right there.
Yeah, exactly. And with them gutting the economy, there are only going to be government jobs left. And this city year thing is going to be one of those things where they're going to take the city year kids and they're going to be like, hey, how about you do this next? There's no real private sector jobs out there. We really liked you in this program. Why don't you try this next program? And it'll be the next level of indoctrination. Because overall, City Year, until it was corrupted by this, federal funding and now this national program, was a good program. But I just don't want to see a country full of red, white, and black fascist children, doing paramilitary things in the name of the Lord, the Savior Obama, because they are change and they are unstoppable. They're shedding their individual skins and taking on a universal one for a new world.
Go
ahead.
The high schoolers, I got a high school teacher at my old high school who's going to be showing, hopefully, the Obama section to her sociology class.
Awesome. That's very cool.
These will be seniors. They'll be, some of the brighter students, and they'll be able to handle that. And hopefully they can take that out, take the information, and move on with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, loose change has been shown in high schools. I've actually gone to a few high schools, not into classrooms, but to after-school type things and shown the movie. I've been to colleges and shown the movie. Same thing with Fabled Enemies. We can have an effect. That's why we put these movies out, so we can try to affect the youth so they don't just blindly follow Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, when she says, the internet's bad because people are calling me fat on it. Let's pass the Cyberbullying Act. I thank you for the call, Ryan. Let's go to the Anti-Federalist in Georgia. You're on. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jason. I just wanted to tell you I'm excited about this weekend, man. I'm looking forward to the fight. Just picked up
man.
Dude, today.
What do you think? You think Rashad or Machida? I'm taking Machida.
I don't want to admit it, but I'm taking Machida too, man.
And as we talk MMA on this political program, Rashad Evans is a pretty tight fighter. He disappointed me in his Michael Bisping fight. He did win that fight, but Bisping, he doesn't impress me that much as a fighter. I mean, he's probably, top 10, top 15 in his division, but he's overrated in my opinion. I hope Henderson works him when they fight. But Machida, it seems to me the real deal. And the reason I think Machida is going to take him, if you watch Machida's fight with Tito Ortiz, he didn't let Ortiz get off once. Not once. And in the Rashad Ortiz fight, Tito would have beaten Rashad if he didn't grab onto the fence and lose that point. Now, the question is, if he doesn't grab onto the fence, does he get slammed to the ground and all of a sudden get ground and pounded out? But, Ortiz looked a lot better against Rashad than he did against Machida. And personally, I wanted to see the Rashad Rampage fight until Rampage got injured. So I'm expecting Machida, but I am hoping that Rashad can win so I can see that Rashad Rampage fight. On another note, who are you taking in the Sarah Hughes fight? I'm obviously rooting for Matt Serra and hoping he's pulling off a victory.
Absolutely. After watching, the series and seeing Matt Hughes, of course it's edited for TV, so who knows what the real story is, but the way he came off in that TV series.
Well, listen, back in the day when they were gearing up for Matt Hughes to fight BJ Penn, I remember this like it was yesterday. I'm watching and I'm over at my buddy's house, and they kind of roll up on him really quick to get an interview, and while he's in the interview, you can see him putting his wedding ring back on. Exactly. That tells me what kind of a guy Matt Hughes is. Sarah all the way. I appreciate the call and the lightheartedness of it. It's nice to back off from these subjects and talk about people beating each other's brains in for a minute. All right, let's go to Manuel in California. Manuel, you're on the air.
Hey, Jason. This is Manuel from the Bay. I'm a member of We Are Change SF. And the reason why I'm calling was to give you some good news and a little bit of bad news.
Okay.
Which one do you want first?
Give me the bad news first. That way maybe I can get cheered up afterwards.
Okay, so here's the bad news. AccessSF.org is the public access channel here in San Francisco. A really close friend of mine, by the name of Kevin Hammond, hosts the show titled Exposing the New World Order.
Oh, cool.
He's been producing shows on Access SF for about several years now. He started back in 2006, and he was one of the founding members of Truth Action. The government's going to step in and take over the station. So what we're doing right now here in the Bay, not so much We Are Changed, but other grassroots organizations, we're trying to save the station.
Mm-hmm.